True, true. You good? All right. Hey, this is Greg here with Gag Order again, hanging out with,
Meg Myers.
and we're here at the Great Scott in Boston. A little windy, but it's okay. A little cold, but is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so you're here in Boston. It's your first time in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you expecting out of the Great Scott and everything? Like, who are you playing with tonight?
The Scavengers and Broods.
Broods. Have you played with them before?
Actually, I just found out tonight that we have played with the Scavengers before. Sorry, I have a hair somewhere. I have to talk in the mic. We played with them back in LA, and that was like a school night at Bordeaux. And then we're on tour with Broods right now. We've been touring with them for like the past week and a half.
So you're pretty familiar with them?
I never knew about them before, actually, and then
Really?
when I got the tour, then I looked their stuff up, and I wouldn't say this about, like, unless I really felt it, like, I think they're so awesome, and, like, seeing them live, like, it's really inspiring. Yeah.
That's very cool. So you got to kind of play off their energy and like their inspiration and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so word on the street is that you started in a band with your brother way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called? It had a very
Feeling numb.
feeling numb, very angsty.
Yeah.
Kind
yeah. I feel weird saying that, and I have these gloves on.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, hide the
just
gloves.
cold.
Hide the gloves. It's showing you're feeling numb. And so what happened with that band, and how did you switch? How did you make the transition?
Well, my brother taught me how to play bass and guitar, and so when he taught me bass, then he was like, he needed a bassist, and so I became his bassist, and we started writing songs together, and then I just played with him from like, we started playing shows when we were like, I was 13, and then like when I was 17, I decided that I wanted to go do something else, like, and do something, I don't know, I had this like idea in my head of something else that I wanted to do.
Like every 17-year-old, I'm gonna be the greatest thing ever, like.
Yeah. And I told him that I didn't want to do like the grunge rock thing anymore, and I just wanted to do something like, I did want to do something a little more poppy or like bluesy or something.
Yeah.
And so I left and started playing acoustic, and then and then I moved to LA when I was 20.
And that's how you kind of ended up here.
Mm-hmm.
And so did Atlantic pick you up when you got into LA?
After I had been in LA for like 7 years, yeah, I'm 27, so
You don't look it.
Thank you. It's nice.
It's gonna pay off later in life.
Oh, thanks. It's a relief. It's always a relief to hear, because I feel like I'm 70.
From just touring and just like getting beat up every night.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, I lived out there for. It was more like, I wasn't out there for 7 years. I've been out there for 7 years, but I met my producer when I was 23 or 24. Yeah.
So how was that struggle, like, being in LA? I feel like LA is kind of like the catch-all for like, I want to be an artist, I want to be an actor. Like, how difficult was it to be found in LA and actually, get found and do your thing?
Well, like, if you stick to anything, then I really do think that it'll happen. But it's just like,
that needs to be put on like a calendar. That was a nice little quote. Like, if you stick to anything, you
it'll
can do it.
Yeah, you can. But like, you better like know that it's. Yeah, I don't know. It was really hard. It's been really hard. So hard. Yeah.
So hard to the point where you're sleeping, 3 hours a night, 4 hours a night.
Yeah, which is where I'm at right now.
And so you just released an EP?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the title?
Make a Shadow.
And how has been the reaction to Make a Shadow?
It's been awesome.
Yeah?
Really good.
A lot of people come up to you like, oh my god, it's my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
It changed my life.
Yeah.
I want to grow up to be like you. I'm going to name my daughter Meg Myers.
Yet.
Not yet? It's coming. It's on the way. It'll happen tonight, I promise
I
you.
don't know if anybody wants to grow up to be like me.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like from your Instagram and your Twitter, you have a pretty good, like, sense of humor and stuff. But it's weird that your music is kind of, not as
happy,
humorous as, as your personality would kind of come out to be.
I have to have that, though, like that outlet to let all that out, so I can be humorous and like happy in my everyday life.
Gotcha. So your music's more like an outlet to get that kind of like that pent up things.
Yeah, like just feelings and pain out, let it out that way instead of, you know, destructive ways.
True. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. And so you know, what's next after Boston?
Montreal.
Montreal.
Yeah.
Is that your first time in Canada?
I've been to Vancouver once for a photo shoot, but I'm going to Montreal and then Toronto, and then we're going to Seattle after that.
That's a long trip.
Yeah, and then Seattle to Portland, and then Portland to San Fran, and then like down somewhere Santa Ana after that.
So when do you stop? Like when do you have time to like make new music and?
After this tour.
When's the tour end?
It's a 3.5 week tour, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll end after Santa Ana, I think. Like, and then I can. Hopefully, I'll get like at least like a couple days to recover.
Yeah, you need like a good like 4 days rest.
Cry. Yeah.
So I mean, like, at what point, like, where do you find all your aggression? Like, what is, like, tell the people, you know, some of your what's grinding your gears? Like, what is the message your music is trying to get out, or is it more just almost like a personal like diary vent to music?
It's that. It's not. I don't write thinking like I need to like tell people this or anything. Like, sometimes I wish I did, and it was a little more uplifting, but that's not where I'm at right now. I never have been. I've always just kind of like been a bit of a depressed person, and like I've had a tough life, and I have to like.
You felt numb for a while.
Yeah, I don't really feel like numb anymore. I don't know if I ever felt numb. Actually, that was just my brother. That's why I left. No, but I just like. Yeah, I have to like just express my emotions somehow, and that's how I do it. And luckily a lot of people have similar feelings to the way that I feel, and so that's why they relate. But which is great. I'm very glad.
It must be cool to like, some people like speak to be heard, and some people speak just to speak. And to be able to speak and people actually hear you and agree with you and be like, yes, I get it.
Yeah,
like,
that's the best feeling.
That's a pretty cool thing.
That's why I do it.
You're not trying to preach to anyone. Like, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, could your music maybe take a turn to be like maybe helping people out, or?
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay.
And honestly, like it does help people though. Yeah. I know, like because the kind of stuff that I've always listened to is stuff that. Well, not always. I actually listen to a lot of stuff, like uplifting stuff. But but a lot of times when I like listen to something that's really painful and they're going through a lot, like that makes me feel so good that it makes me want to keep living because it's like other people feel these things.
It's comforting to know that you're not out there by yourself.
Yeah.
That you didn't get like a shit end of a stick. That you're just living life and everyone else is too, and people go through the same issues.
Yeah.
And that's a nice thing to know.
Mhm.
So like, what would it take for you to be happy? Like, do you have a puppy? Could I get you like a chinchilla?
I want a puppy so bad, but I can't until I have like a bus and, maybe I can get a little guy.
What if we gave the bus ears and a tail?
That'd make me smile, but I'd probably be over it the next day.
I don't know, man. A giant dog. We could paint the van red and give you Cliff with the big red van.
But it's not our van.
Steal it. Just make it yours. Anything's yours if you want it to be.
All right, this is making me kind of happy.
And so once your tour is done, going back to write music, do you have anything off the top of your head as to what it might be about, or are you just gonna kind of play it organically and see where it goes?
Just play it by feel, see where it goes. Like, yeah, I have no idea. Well, I have an idea of what I'm gonna feel like when I get back, but yeah,
tired.
We'll see. Yeah.
Hungry.
Well, hopefully I can sleep before I go in the studio, though.
Yeah, that might make some interesting sounds.
Yeah.
And so let the people know where they can find your music and anything you wanna tell them. Maybe some more inspirational quotes.
Mhm. I don't know if I have those, but you can find my music on megmyers.com. I'm like drooling right now for some reason. I'm like salivating. And I just put out my single for my song Desire, and there's a video for that also. You can find on YouTube.
Directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
That's right. No. And I think that's about it. Yeah, you can check out my EP, which is on iTunes, Make a Shadow. And this has been great.
Cool. So we'll go back inside because it's pretty cold out here now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling numb now. So this is Greg with
Oh my
Gag
God.
Order signing out.